We have a fun treat for you today. We're at the home of Stillwater gardener Lionel Arnold, and he's going to give us a tour of his garden. And Lionel, thank you so much.
You're entirely welcome.
We really, you can tell by looking at your yard and your garden that you are a very avid gardener.
Yes, and spend a lot of time in it too.
So, well, this is nice. And here in the front, you have some beautiful, these are beautiful heliobores here. How long have they been planted?
They're just about a year old. This is the first blooming. They start blooming in February and they last clear over into April.
Oh, wow.
Yes, they're very pretty.
Now, what have you found helps them feel at home, kind of? What
Well, they like shade.
Yes?
As you can see, the trees provide a shade. And like everything else, it likes to be fed.
When do you feed them?
I feed them in the fall and then in the spring when they're starting to just come up.
Right.
I feed them a fertilizer.
Okay. So, well, this is just a nice border here. You've got a beautiful columbine right here.
Yes, I enjoy columbines. As you can see, they're all over the place. They seem to like Oklahoma and Colorado too. But see, that one over there is a western columbine.
Right, that's pretty.
And the others, I don't know the colors. I'm not one of those that put tags on colors all the time.
Right.
I just let things be themselves.
Well, good. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm anxious to see the rest of your garden.
This is an arch that I've made with horse fencing and just bending it. And it's the poor man's answer to an expensive arch. And on it, you can see Carolina jasmine.
Oh, and it's already blooming.
And that's Nellie Mosher clematis. And they, this is the first time the Carolina jasmine has bloomed at this particular spot. And I find it very enjoyable. You can see the petals all over the ground.
Oh, yes.
You were mentioning the fact that some people don't know quite what to do with a narrow alley. And what I've done is I've put down crushed rock.
Right here in the middle.
Right in the middle. And then I've just have planted Vinca minor. Major has bigger leaves, you know.
Right, this is a nicer look with the smaller
and then
leaves.
it looks rather, you can see where the walk is, it sort of dies out there. But I think it covers it, it's green all the year round.
It does, a very good job. Oh, this is a nice surprise when you get to the backyard, Lionel.
Well, thank you. You can see there's a lot of work that's gone into putting these stones. There are 93 of them, I counted them.
Oh, wow. Well, I know that you have, it's kind of nice because if you want to just walk around and look at your flower borders, you're not making a path in the grass this way.
Yes.
This is nice.
Fescue doesn't like to be tramped on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Now, the other thing as I look at your flower borders, I notice we've got a lot of beautiful tulips around here. And but they're not all just in one area, are they?
No. I like to sort of have splotches of color, different red, pink, white, and spread throughout the garden so that you get a chance to look, your eye sees different things. And I think it's enjoyable to see that kind of, and you can see I've been getting the chickweed out.
Chickweed
is the bane of my gardening.
Now I noticed that you have a nice, kind of a nice tarp spread out, and you just weed onto that, and then
you throw it on, and then I can take it to the compost pile very, very easily.
That's a good idea.
I like to point out the statue that Lou Hale, who is a local artist, did for me. It's a Kuan Yin. It's the goddess of mercy.
Oh, that is a beautiful statue.
And I think that arch sort of frames it. It was much more beautiful when the blossoms, the flowering plum was out. Light pink, it was very beautiful.
Well, that's the nice thing about a garden, that as the seasons change, something else is a surprise.
Yes, it changes quite a bit. But the violets are still strong.
They are very nice.
Yes. This is a little patch of columbines. You can see they're different from the ones out front, different colors, that kind of thing.
Very nice.
But you can see how the red sort of catches your eye.
It does.
Very, very quickly.
Now I noticed that your water garden here, you have it out in the middle, in the sunny part of the garden.
Yes,
And it's very nice. Not quite time to get that geared up for the season yet, is it?
Not quite, not quite. It's kind of cool to get in there and try to arrange the plants and everything.
That's true.
But you can see they're coming on. The hosta and the Japanese iris are coming on.
Now, I like this perennial area over here.
Well,
This
thank
is a
you.
nice garden. It's kind of a teardrop shape.
Yes.
Where did you come up with the soil for this?
We dug the pond, and they piled it all in one big pile here, and I proceeded to shape it and give it a sort of, you see there's a flow with the stepping stones, and I thought this might catch the flow of the stepping stones.
That's a nice design element. And I noticed in looking at what you've got planted here that you've done a very nice job of kind of spreading out your bloom season. I know here in the early spring,
Yes.
up here you have a beautiful perennial blooming right now.
Yes.
What is that?
That's Veronica pendulata, and they're muscari, and I got some early annuals out and had
Right.
to cover them up for fear of the frost. But they're daffodils, tulips, and other plants that come on early in the spring, and you can see hostas that like the shade.
Very nice.
English daisies, the tiny little ones there, they don't like the heat of Oklahoma, but in the
It's good
spring.
for the spring,
And
right?
for the spring, yes.
I noticed you also have another kind of a bulb perennial that people don't think about planting all the time, but an oxalis is a good candidate for a shade too, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and it'll do well in the sun too. And it likes, many plants like to have soil that's drained, and this mound drains the soil, the water off very, very quickly.
It does a good job.
Does a good job.
Now I see, looking here, that you have a very bright, happening area of your garden right now over here. Now this yellow just really catches the eye from across the garden.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? It's sort of, the greens and the yellows sort of blend together.
So,
It's taken over, and I like to let things take over sometimes.
and this is a Japanese carrier, right?
Yes, yeah.
And it is.
I haven't seen too
very
many of
nice.
those in Stillwater.
No, but they grow very well here. I think we
Yes,
should
they
use more
do.
of them.
Yes, they do.
You also have a very beautiful azalea planting here.
Well, thank you. Different colors. The whites seem to bloom last, and the various shades of purple are interesting in terms of color and landscaping.
They are. A very nice, kind of massed. I've noticed that about azaleas. They look nice when they're massed together.
Yes, yeah. Honors Park in Tulsa is very beautiful.
It is.
The latest acquisition is that Japanese maple. I've seen it's just coming out now.
It is. Very nice. Now you haven't dedicated all of your garden to perennials. You've got a nice vegetable plot here.
Well,
Just started.
thank you. I like spinach, and it provides the calcium that one needs a little bit of. And you can see a weed patch every now and then.
Well, you always need a few of those to keep you busy, right?
Yes, you do.
So-
But
Now,
yes,
I've also noticed on your walkway, on your stepping stones, ever so often we have a different stepping stone here.
yes. The Mitchells gave me those as a birthday present, and
really
another
pleasant.
friend gave me another one, and I made that one.
This is beautiful. Now, are you going to replace one of these with?
Yes,
your
I'm going to place it over there. See, that will be midway between the two yellows. And I think I wish I had more time to do things like that. I'd like to do one of flowers, maybe.
That would
But
be good.
not right away.
Well, you have a beautiful garden, Lionel, and we really appreciate you letting us look around. It's been very relaxing.
Well, thank you. I hope other people seeing it will enjoy it and may be a source of inspiration to them.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.